vez sentí lo que cambiaría en mí. 10 años sobreviví sin ahogarme en nada. Tragos de moro, un desengaño, andar cabizbajo.
Man, I already here before, man.
We all around. So yeah, I would say the thing I'm pushing is Skate Club HQ. Is my skate brand. You know, Skate Club is for everyone. All you got to do is skate, you know, and the community of skating and the energy that it brings when you out there with the people, how, you know what I'm saying, you gotta get through your fears and your insecurities out there to be safe on the skates and really get the drip popping. So it has a lot of things built into the culture of what it is, and it's beautiful. Check it out. It's on the gram, Skate Club HQ. Every skate club needs a headquarters. And then my personal Instagram is Young Almighty in the building, because I am. Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Lew. We're down here at Alamo City Studios. It's 11/11/22. Have some friends from out of town. Thank you, Juan-Carlos.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us.
Man, thanks for making some time and coming out.
Chill.
Especially it was right across the street from our venue, so that was got even better.
Yeah, I told
to work, bro.
I told you when you told me where you were playing, I was like, bro, it's right across the street.
That's so dope.
So it was meant to be.
And anytime the OG says we're gonna do something, I just have learned to trust him and go. So I'm glad I agreed. You know,
hell yeah,
you got good taste. You got good taste.
Yeah, it's like a party in here tonight. Night Shift is DJ in the next room. Demise is showing some artwork in the back. It's your boy Lew, having a great time. Smitty, producer Smitty tonight.
What up?
Smitty, yeah.
Smitty made his Kickstarter goal.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the Kickstarter.
Yeah, man. I actually just publishing my first children's book, and I crowdfunded, got 106% funded. It's a trip.
Yo, I need to get this book, and
Yes,
I need to
me
read
too.
it to my son, bro. We both got son.
It's real. It's about a dumpster.
Hey, don't
That's
be afraid to get a little
fire.
bit closer.
It got to be simple. I love that.
Oh,
It got to
yeah.
be simple, universal. So
It's,
like, I'm ready to peep. I'm working on the book myself. I need to talk to you about that often.
You
See,
gonna
like,
talk?
I need to get into the editing process. You know what I'm saying? But
Well,
I got it pretty much done.
I feel
Man,
like
this
I feel
man
like-
went through it with that book.
I feel we're gonna talk. We're gonna be talking about a lot of projects.
Yeah,
So,
I feel that
like,
too.
for real.
Smitty, swag.
We'll fuck with it.
Yeah,
Let's
we got
do it.
the vibes are high here.
Yeah.
So Juan Carlos, if they want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you?
So you could check out Making Movies on all social media platforms. Instagram, MKNGMVS. Making Movies without the vowels. And so, ooh, I like that. Old school, bro. Old school.
I gave you some of my books. I'm working on a new book. This new book I'm working on, I want to do strictly just disposable cameras.
That's great.
Yo, I love seeing grown, cool-looking black and brown men with books, bro. That's next level. You don't see that. That's rare. We got to show love to y'all for doing that.
Yeah.
That's rare. That's something. I feel like I was just looking to write a book so I wouldn't be the only one. But now I'm around two people who already got it. That's inspiration.
Oh, yeah,
So,
man.
Thank y'all. That's exciting.
Man,
Y'all killing it out here, man.
My book's called Instacrack Volume 1, 2, and 3. It's all instant film. That's why I called it Instacrack. You know, I get that little high when I
Yeah.
take those pictures.
Oh, fire.
But no editing
little
done.
burst of creative
You know what I
energy.
mean? It was just as is.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of rappers from the city in the third one. The first two are just kind of like all over the place.
I'm trying to get an Instacrack for it then.
Man, I'm starting the new.
You're gonna be in it.
Yeah,
I don't know what
let's
I'm gonna
go.
call it. I'm gonna call something.
Something. I want in the next version.
Hell yeah, I'm
You
with
know,
it, bro.
like,
I'm with it, man.
gang.
I'm with it, man. Let's get it. Shoot, man. I know FK is trying to set it up so I can go back up because I did a podcast in the summer up there.
Oh, okay.
Y'all know Dink?
yeah.
Dink.
Yeah, he's a homie, yeah.
Yeah, Dink's my boy.
Yeah, I got a couple stickers about him. That's
Yeah?
Yeah, the artist. Yeah, he actually did our first like poster for one of our music festivals that we host.
Hell yeah, that's
So
that's
he
my bro
he
right there.
designed one of
That's
them.
cool.
Yeah, no, he's good people. Him and
We
his
connected out here low key. It's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So no, that's dope.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought.
It's okay because there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there's so much.
Yeah, you was planning the trip back to Kansas City sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We was gonna link
Like,
up, and we was gonna make it happen and do some cool things.
there you go.
But
I guess you
it was meant to happen here, so it's okay.
Hey, and I was gonna ask you what the hat was about, but as soon as I saw your Instagram, I figured it out.
It's Young Almighty. in
Yes,
the
sir.
building, you know what I'm saying? I only promote the things that I do, that I am. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
I love that.
Yes, sir.
I try and be the same way, but I got a rowdy hat collection. I work at a hat store in the mall.
Yeah.
So I got a bunch of hats. But
yeah, your hat game is crazy, and I would still wear more hats if they was custom in some way. You know what I'm saying? I'm down to support that, and if it's you, it's like I support you, so I'll wear something that you make that can have.
Man, I'm gonna make you something. We'll talk. I'm gonna make you something, bro.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make you something.
If I have it on, that means I know the person. I look them in the eye and I rock with them. If I'm really wearing it and putting it out, it got to be that serious for me.
So, we talked a little bit earlier. Are you originally from Kansas?
Grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, on the Missouri side. But my family's from Mexico.
What part of Mexico?
So my dad's from Guadalajara.
Oh, okay.
And then my mom was born in Mexico City, but grew up in Kansas City. And so, but we go back and forth pretty often. You know, even me at a young age, I would go ever since I could remember. And then I lived there for about a year. I went to go study ballet folklorico because we were talking about dancing.
Yeah.
We were talking about dancing down the hall. And
in the tiny desk, he busts out. And I recognized that dancing right away. I used to do that when I was young.
It's dick.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, and so
so
we were talking about that, and so I went to go study in Guadalajara for a year, man, and had a great time. So, but that's always been part of, my culture being Mexicano. Like it don't matter. I grew up here, but I feel, feel more Mexican than I do American. Even though it's kind of I was ingrained in it at a very young age. I was eating tortillas and and my family owns a Mexican restaurant.
We have
a real authentic one that's really good too.
Yeah, like a tortilleria and all that stuff. So we like all the authentic stuff. Like I always had it in Kansas City, man, in Missouri. Yeah, yep. And so I was spoiled in that way, but I also got made sure that because a lot of my friends that I grew up with too, a lot of them lost their culture. They couldn't, either their grandparents didn't want to speak Spanish because they would get in trouble. Stuff would happen at school. So it's like back then too. When the nuns were teaching, they all went to like Catholic schools. Man, they just couldn't do that. So it's like, so they were afraid to teach the next generation, and so they lost it. And it was never like a weird thing. It just that's just what happened. But
that happened to me. I didn't learn Spanish until like a year ago, and like I understood, like I could understand it. My biggest regret's not being able to ever hold a conversation with my grandmother before she passed.
Man, that's
and
real.
like I don't know, but I get it. Like I'm trying to pick up all the pieces. You know what I mean? Like,
But that's good that you're at least willing to do that.
Oh yeah, man.
Because a lot of people, they're just like, it is what it is. Like I don't know if I'm gonna, because it's the same way. They can understand it. They've been around it their whole lives.
Yeah.
Their grandmother spoke or grandfathers only spoke Spanish usually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's like you're always hearing it. And if you're going over to your abuelo's house, that's all you're gonna hear. But then when you go home, it's like it disappears. So I can understand like if you don't speak it every day. It's kind of tough, but you know it enough, so that's why I think it doesn't really bother a lot of people who just know enough. But.
Yeah, that's exactly how I just knew enough for the longest time. Now I'm starting to like figure it out, like trying to hold a conversation.
Yeah.
I knew Spanish was my first language, and then it definitely got pulled out of me on my cousin's side of my. I was like, oh, he says he don't know how to say sandals. He says chanclas. he don't say iron. He says plancha. And
but that's dope.
But that almost it made me embarrassed. Like I got ridiculed. I got like, oh, he don't know. He says these things. All these. And I remember working on my. Okay, hi, how you doing? I got to talk like this now.
Ooh,
and
no.
man,
Man.
it was crazy to feel like.
Don't let them get you.
It's a trip though, But
yeah.
I've gone through the same thing to go pick it back up, to understand and appreciate your culture. And I'm glad that you say that you've always felt more. You felt yourself as
and that
identifying with that.
Yeah, because it was thanks to my parents, thanks to my grandparents. Like they just made sure that it was just always a part of who we were, like growing up. And my mom loving to dance. She's the one who started the dance group. Back in 1979,
Man.
as around pretty much the same time they opened up the family restaurant, and so it was just my upbringing, man, and then but also it helped that at the school that I went to, it was a full immersion language school, so you could either take Spanish or I believe it was French maybe. And that was during middle school. During the grade school, it was just Spanish. Either you do Spanish or you don't do Spanish. And so I grew up since kindergarten, like learning everything in Spanish. So like math, science,
Wow.
all those courses, I learned them in Spanish. And my only Spanish speaking classes were either the electives like art, gym stuff, library, and then you would have an English class. But you wouldn't. The whole day would be all in Spanish.
I would say that's cool too. Like Latinos, they gotta be able to appreciate that you can find your language. Because I feel like as a black person, I don't even know what my original language is. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how to go find what I just got English. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where English came from. So I feel like as a Latino, you do gotta like you learn some of your thing. You know, it would be nice because if I knew which one mine was, I would learn it. You know?
Right. So no, it's been. I mean, I've definitely appreciated as much as I can because I mean I'm able to speak two languages, communicate, and everything like that. But yeah, but just being able to just be proud of who I am and that's it. The roots are where it's at. So
How long you been doing percussion?
I started. So with percussion, I started in like my mid-teens. I was like about 14, 15 years old.
Because let me see if I got this right. There's the lead singer, guitar player.
Yes.
Then you do percussion. And you do drums. And then you have a bass player.
Right.
Okay, cool. So you got two percussion players. That's what I was just trying to like. Yeah.
So
You're like one super drummer. Really, it's more. But
yeah. And then I also play the keys.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I started about my teens, and then I got pushed into it kind of because it was a funny story. Because I learned playing drums. My dad was a drummer. He played. He was in almost like a legendary Mexican rock band back in the day in the late '60s called the Spiders. You can look them up and everything like that. And they were signed to RCA Records. They were like the first band that would sang in English, because the lead singer he was from from Minnesota but grew up in Mexico, so he knew English. Anyways, so there was a local band that wanted a percussionist to play. So they had asked my dad, but my dad was like, "No, I'm too old. I'm not gonna be playing clubs." And then they're like, "But you can ask my son if he wants to play and join." So they asked me. I mean, they're family friends, so they trusted, And I was like, "Well, I have rhythm. I know how to get around on a drum set, So it's like, well, okay, well, what? They're like, "Well, we need you to play timbales." And I'm like, "Timbales? Okay." I was like, "Cool." And I was like, "Well, I've seen timbales. I know what timbales do, whatever." But I never really learned. And so, and they were the closest thing to a drum set, which was nice. So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I learned. Thankfully, I had some, mentors, people that were already in the band that wanted to help and taught me some rhythms. And then I did that for a little while, and then I ended up learning everything else along the way. Congas, bongo, campana,
djembe.
Djembe a little bit, and just and so after, I'm 36 years old now, so almost 20 years, of playing percussion, kind of learning everything. It's crazy. That's crazy to think about. Right? It's crazy. So that's kind of how I picked up. I learned, and I fell in love with all the the music. All the salsa, merengue, cumbia, all that stuff. Like I fell in love with all the music because I had to learn it.
Yeah.
Because we were playing covers. It wasn't original music. It was like, well, let's cover Mark Anthony. Let's cover blah blah blah. Let's cover all the salsa. And so then I had to learn the song. And then I just fell in love with the music too. So it was easy for me to just fully immerse myself in that. So,
do you vibe when you're on there? Do you have like a certain set of like patterns or rhythms, or do you just kind of at times just freestyle go with it, or do you have certain breaks that you have planned out while you're playing?
It's a little bit of all of that.
I would say the easiest way to explain is that each song is a groove. There's there's a cumbia, there's a mambo, and so there is certain patterns that go with those grooves. But then inside of those things, we just talking. You know what I'm saying? That's what I call. I'm speaking. When I play a field, I'm saying, "What's up? How you doing today?" You know what I'm saying? You gonna hear it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gonna. Now that I said that, if you ever hear me play, you ain't gonna unhear it, but you gonna hear it. You gonna hear me talking to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So that's kind of like how it works with us, and but yeah, man, I love it. I love playing percussion.
How long you been playing?
So I grew up in a musical family. I got the typical black kid story of I grew up in church. I played pots and pans. I always say from the time I was 2, I knew what I wanted to do. So I've been playing drum 30 years. I would say now to say it out loud, but I always knew I was going to be a drummer, and I always knew I was going to play in bands. And I grew up playing in church. My mom is a choir director, and so I started playing drums at church at the age of 7, and followed her around, and I was the church drummer. And then ever since then, I've been playing. Never owned a drum set till I was old because I just played at church. Didn't have one to get. Learned how to read music in school, and then like just through the school thing, picked it up, kept growing, and you know what I'm saying. Then I said as an adult, I started rapping, and I had a little rap career, a little singing thing, and then quit playing the drums, and then in 2019, I just had quit my job. It's like, yo, I'm going full time again. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then they were like, yo, you want to try playing the drums again? I'm like, yeah, I ain't even own a drum set. I had to borrow a drum set from my cousin because they're real drummers. My cousin plays for Kelly Clarkson, and my other cousin is like he's like a real high level youth pastor at a big church. You know what I'm saying? Can play all the instruments, been touring, everything. So he just let me borrow a drum set, and that's how I got into the band. And so I still don't even
So you said that was like 2019.
2019, yeah. So I still don't even consider myself like I'm a drummer, but I'd like just making movies allowed me to have a reason to play drums again. You could say,
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because like it's I don't know, it's interesting because it's definitely a different sound than we've had before, but I think it's allowed him to kind of just honestly be the drummer that he's always just wanted to be.
So how'd y'all meet?
Yeah, exactly. So that's a good story. Like I started as a rapper, right, in Kansas City.
Yeah, you were saying that.
I was looking to be the best.
Were you rapping like as Young Almighty?
Yeah, Duncan Burnett. That's my government name.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was rapping as. Young Almighty's just always been my like the other. You got Hope, but Jay-Z. So
I got you, man. I'm Lou and I'm loser, bro. I got you, man.
in the building. Yeah. So I started as a rapper, and so I really I manifested this moment. I was doing shows in Kansas City. Was trying to get out, trying to make it out. I got to the level where, in my opinion, I had the best show as a rapper. I used a band, I had the full setup, because I've always been a musician. I came from the musician world, so I always had a nice band with my rap stuff, like some like Black Roots type energy, you know what I'm saying, mixed with like Kanye West rapping, you could say. That's kind of what my sound was at the time, and it was working. But I couldn't find nobody who made it out. I saw Enrique one day making movies at a show in a parking lot, and it was the first time I seen a band that had a bigger sound than me without using tracks. At the time, I used tracks and band like a Kendrick Lamar setup would be. Okay. It's like, so it's a band sound, but you got the tracks and the backgrounds and stuff. And then they just they just really kicked my ass in that way. And so I made a plan. I told my lady, like, yo, I'm going to get with this dude Enrique, and I'm just gonna follow him and become his best friend. And I bet you, if I get you to be his best friend, I'll make it out. And so my only goal was to open for them. And so I got the chance to open as a rapper, but nothing happened. And so even the fact that like it was the drums is like the universal moment of like why it's so legit. Cause like I never even thought about playing the drums. I never even thought about playing these rhythms. I didn't see this music as mine. I was just like, oh, that's some cool Latino shit. But once I got in and started playing and started looking at Cuban rhythms and all this stuff, it's like, yo, this is black music. Yo, this is my music. This is my shit, actually. You know what I'm saying? And thank y'all for reintroducing me to myself.
On that connection.
And then like most of the people I go, everywhere we go, they tell me I got the tumbao. Like, I play like oh, you only been playing this 2 years, really? Yeah, but I play like I've been doing it for a while, just because that DNA, the energy is strong, and that's what the making movies energy is really about. Is just like showing that energetic connection is way deeper than my skin color or where I come from. Because like, look how deep I play this stuff that I never played my whole life. Yet this is the best way I've ever played the drums.
It's the DNA, man. It's tapped into something.
Yeah.
Man, y'all videos trip me out, man.
We making movies literally, brother. Haciendo películas.
Yeah, man. Which one are you talking about specifically?
I would say we could talk about the trilogy.
The Piccolo. Yeah, we can talk about the trilogy.
Like, I got a shout out to his parents' restaurant. The first video, Calor, is shot in the actual restaurant where he used to work. Yeah, the one he's bartending at is where he really was bartending at back in the day.
That's sick.
Yeah, so shout out to
I used to bartend there and work there and do all the things that I needed to do at the family restaurant for a minute.
Wow.
Yeah. So I really bartended there, but anyways, yeah. So it was there, and then
we went to the hotel. It's like we.
But I don't even know. Do you know, or I guess, let me ask you this. So our album Sopa that we just put out.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been paying attention to the storyline or anything, or has anything made sense to you as far as all the things that we've been putting up on our social media, and all this other stuff? Like, has anything made sense to you?
I heard the album a few times, but what do you mean makes sense to me?
Like, have you seen the album cover?
Have you just seen the narrative? There is a narrative.
There is a narrative.
Have you noticed
But
it?
have you noticed
No,
it?
I have not noticed
Okay.
the narrative.
Okay, so I'm wondering if we should just explain a little bit.
That's why I said the
narrative.
trilogy. So the three videos that released is a story.
Okay.
And so we're the they say the asshole rock stars sends the energy back to ourselves to remind us who we are. And that's what the first video is about. It's our other selves from a different dimension reminding us who we are, that we're a band. So in the video, we realize at the end, like, oh, guys, we're a band. Like, we do this. And then at the end of the video, we start playing. And so then these rock stars make it. And then we end up in this, in the next video, the Sala dos Pecadores, is like our center characters. Those characters end up in this hotel on this wild night, partying, but you realize it's just them all by themselves, like,
hey, they were partying.
Going wild, like, what are you guys doing? But that's where the energy had led us to. It led us to all that brought out those characters of ourselves. And you had sometimes to get to the top, you got to hit the bottom first. So we hit the bottom, then those same characters hop on a plane on our airlines, but then only to crash. And then in the crash, we burn all that old nonsense bullshit away and emerge as the new guys, the new superheroes who are clean. And so this new album is my first album I've ever recorded drums on in the history of the world, which is one. And then
hey, that's sick.
They would say that it's making movies most loved by Enrique standards. This is the project he's been most proud of overall, with who engineered it, where we recorded it, all the things that tapped in. I would say I can speak for them. Like, this is their most proud thing of all the things they've been looking to do. So it is like a rebirth, like a reintroduce. Then the name of the album is Sopa, which is, they say que paso in Spanish, but in Panamanian language they say que sopa, as like to slang it. So it's
I hear sopa, I think soup.
Correct.
And then that's the other one. So one is double, because we like Jay-Z, double entendres, you know what I'm saying? yeah. So one, we saying what's up to the world in the Panamanian way, because like it is come from Panama, like they read the chi energy. And then it's a soup because of how blended all the stuff you hear is. Like, this is all the different spices and stuff we done picked up from all around the world, showing you that it's all the same thing. You just throw it in. It's black, it's brown, it's blue, it's orange, it's white, it's red, it's green. But does it taste good? You know what I'm saying? I actually stop worrying about it. Yeah, it's good for the soul. When you come to the Make a Movie show, we're gonna give you a release. Wow. It's like a Slipknot show, but in Spanish.
Yeah, man. So,
You fuck with Slipknot?
Yeah, bro. Slipknot in Mexico City.
We saw
Slipknot in Monterrey, Mexico changed my life, bro.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
No
it was
cap.
crazy.
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm telling you, everybody should see it. I'm gonna take my son to a Slipknot
Bro,
show.
those guys. All right.
He has to see what it does. No, I wouldn't say I'm gonna listen to him in the car. Not to cut you off. Not to listen to him in the car or play him at that. But every time they play and I'm available, I'm going.
It's
I'm
intense,
going.
man. They're intense guys. Like when I was younger, I worked for Roadrunner Records, the label they're on, and Roadrunner would send me tapes, stickers. I did the street team thing.
Okay.
Well, anytime any Roadrunner bands would come through, I got to party with them. And I'm like 16, you know what I mean? 16, 17.
Yeah.
And I'm partying with Slipknot, and they were making fun of me. The bass player, the one who passed, he was making fun of me because I was going to CCD classes.
What is that?
Catechism.
for
Catholic church.
Yeah, Catholic
Okay,
church.
okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna go to church, and he was just like, "Well, you want a beer?" I was like, "Well, I'm going to church, man. I got my class." He's like, "Well, I'm gonna save you some beers. Like, come back." I'm like, "All right, cool." It was a good time.
He's like, aren't you about to go confess anyways?
They were cool guys. I remember that they got me drunk. We had a good time. Shit, man, their music is just, that first album is just sick, man. The whole fucking thing is sick.
That live show, man, blew us away, man. It was
Yeah,
it was crazy,
shout out
man.
to Tortilla Man. You know,
That's right. Yeah, from Des Moines,
yeah,
Iowa.
from Des Moines, Iowa.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So that's just what it's like. That's what the Make a Movie show do to you. But we just take you all around the world, and then we end up at Black Church at the end, and then you worship, you pray, you feel the anointing, and then you go home happy.
That's how it goes down.
Yeah, whether you know it or not, that's what I'm transmitting, so it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? The energy is gonna hit you regardless.
So how's the tour going right now? Is this the first Texas
We
stop?
was in Alaska, bro. They never thought a black man from Olathe, Kansas would be in Alaska in the hot springs swimming. Just that's how it's going.
So you enjoyed it?
Man. Yeah, enjoyment is an understatement. You know, it was transformative. It was majestic. It was magical.
It was, man. It was a winter wonderland up there, bro.
Winter wonderland. So many moments happened, even like growth moments between him and his dad that we won't share what happened. But we just had like really rare, only win in Alaska level, life changing. Like, whoa, that just happened. You know what I'm saying? Whoa,
Yeah.
that just
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Whoa, that just happened. Like it was getting redundant to say amazing. You know?
Well, because even the lady who was driving us around,
Stop. He just said, even the lady who was driving us around, because they picked us up from the airport with the sign, said making movies, and had a nice bus and drove us around everywhere. And when the terrain got slippery, she would go change vehicles for us. You know what I'm saying? To get the better tires.
no, we were treated amazingly.
All right, I
But
didn't
no,
cut you up, but
What was that at school about? I saw y'all at a school.
Oh, the school, yeah. So we, so for these performing arts centers that we performed at, they also team up to do like have some educational portion of their, you know, when they bring artists. So they have the artists, you know, do a little showcase at their schools. So the first one we did was at an actual school in Anchorage, and that was really fun, man. We got all the kids because it was only kindergarten. It was like kindergarten through 5th grade, I think. It was just like
yeah, like
grade,
young,
like grade, like
elementary
grade school. Yeah,
yeah, they was lit.
yeah. So So no, it was fun. We had a good time, and they loved it, man. And the thing is, like for us, it's the same energy that we're trying to project to these kids, you know, as we do it in a regular live show. You know, we want them to understand, like, this is where it comes from. This is what we're doing. This is who
It's
we
universal.
are. Yeah. So it's like we don't want them to,
And the kids is really where we need to get to anyway. That's where
because they're honest, bro. They're real
Yeah.
honest. They'll show you on their face if they don't like it, or they'll always be like, or cover their ears. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't.
No filter.
They have
And
no
most of
filter.
us is done anyway. Like most of our generation, we suck. So we just gotta try for the kids. And I would say too, it's like a real thing. Like the way that thing works is like to be in Alaska, like they gotta book you to do a few things because to get there is crazy and to leave is crazy. So like in order for it to work, they gotta book you at the school and then book you a show.
No one and done. Like,
One and done, and then book you in both cities. So both cities have to agree to bring you because that's the only reason why it makes sense. You got to stay there for 6-7 days. So Making Movies always does these school workshops. It's been a part of the thing. They got a nonprofit called Artist Mentorship. Enrique always been working kids. OG been working with kids. Like that's always been a part. So in Alaska, it just turned out like what we always do just really was elevated and able to, you know, have all the beautiful resources. And in that room, there was like, I don't know, 500 to 800 kids. And it was like the first time we got to do a kids show in a big auditorium with speakers and stuff. Most of the time it's in the gymnasium,
Right.
which is really nice. But for those kids, their first rock concert, you know, when you like, you know, 5th to 4th grade to see me, him
And
playing, you know
we
what
did
I'm
an
saying?
actual rock show for them.
Like scream, the decibels of the kids screaming
That
was the
is
loudest
sick.
I've ever heard in my life.
It was
Like,
so
cap.
loud.
Like,
Those
so
kids'
loud.
screams were louder than us playing everything plugged in.
Yes. And true story, we was getting hated on before. There was rumors saying there was rumors saying that it was gonna be too loud for the kids, that it was gonna be too rowdy because it's hard to making movies sound to certain places because you don't really know what we gonna do. And most of the time it's louder.
that's really fair because y'all are a very eclectic band.
Yeah, like, and it's most of the time you don't see a rock band doing workshops for kids and being able to translate and communicate. And Rick's just good at that. That's what he does. And so they just thought it was gonna be super loud and thing. And then the lady who brought us was she's new in the thing. So the person who booked us and then left, and then she just acquired our booking, you know. And so she was new to the thing, looking, but didn't know either. But she was telling them like, "Nah, y'all gotta chill. This is gonna be good. It's gonna be good." And then we started playing, and the kids started screaming. And then the lady was like, "Look, the kids are louder than the whole band. So now what you gonna say?" That's how we went. I'm gonna clap for ourselves because we did that. Like, yeah, that's right. I ain't never heard kids yell so loud that you just had to agree. Like. Yes,
Like I don't think I have a video of the kids screaming that loud, but I do have a video of the kids screaming.
At one point I was like, "Yo, make some noise if you want Making Movies to come back."
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can hear
That's
that away
dope,
from the
bro.
mic. I'm telling you.
Yo.
I was like, "Make some noise if you want Making Movies to come back."
Listen to that. Hey, they're still going. Yeah, they went for that whole.
They went for it.
yeah.
No, like we stood on the stage like a real rock band for like 4 extra minutes, just standing there like.
Yo, that's,
And then just giving them all high
Rock
fives,
hands,
bro.
yeah, doing the
all
rock
high
hands.
fives.
that's
I'm
gotta
telling
feel you.
you.
Man. That's gotta feel
Yo,
you. Like,
the
man,
highest I've ever been. Yeah, that's how tour was going. That's how it's been. You know what I'm saying? We was in Alaska for young kids, the next generation, feeling us at a level adults have not felt us. I can say like we haven't been to one show that the adults was that lit. Like, man.
You made those kids like you made a massive memory for those kids,
Yeah.
man.
I'm so grateful we their first concert, and shout out to Alaska for bringing kids concerts.
Yeah,
allowing
that's super
them to
dope.
see
Yeah.
that. Because they just saw the Suffers the next day. I don't know if you ever heard the band The Suffers.
No, I haven't.
You should check them out.
They're dope.
A black woman leads it, and her name is Cam. But they were there in Alaska too. They were the next day, and their live show is, you know what I'm saying, like. I'm not
So
gonna
those
say
kids
it's better
gotta
than
see
us,
you.
we legit, but they really good. You know what I'm saying?
So those kids got to see you, and then they got to see the Suffers.
yeah, they like.
Sick.
So it's like
In
that
a
should
week.
be everywhere.
Yeah, bro.
that
it
should be
really
everywhere.
should.
those imprints.
It was life changing for
Yeah.
all of us. You know, look how I'm talking about it. It really brightens my whole energy to say it out loud, to remember, like, oh yeah, 800 kids was losing it, and I was just going like this. You know, like, I'm from Olathe, bro. That don't happen. You know what I'm saying? It's rare.
Olathe in Kansas or Missouri?
Olathe, Kansas. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I got
it's a
family-
suburb. You could say I was like 25 minutes south of where the things happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I got family out in Missouri. I never met them though.
What part of Missouri?
St. Joseph.
Oh, St. Joe. That's not far from.
Shout out to
Quincy.
Rad Key, the band Rad Key's from St. Joseph. They're a cool band, the Black Brothers. I'll check them out too.
They are dope. So yeah, man, it's been great.
I loved Kansas when I went out there. It was
Hey.
it was different.
It's
it was
flat,
nice.
but it's
yeah,
legit.
it was flat.
Yeah, a lot of white people, but it's legit.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you can't come to my hood. Hey, if you black and brown don't come to my hood, you get pulled over and arrested. But just know that I'm working to change that so y'all can come hang out with me.
Shoot,
real
man,
soon.
if you're brown
It's
in my
dangerous
hood,
for me
you get
too,
pulled
you know
over,
what I'm saying?
man.
Yeah, it's serious. It was serious everywhere for us. You know, we got to stick together. So thanks for having us. You know what I'm saying? Showing us some love. You know, making
No,
us
man,
feel at home and
I
comfortable.
appreciate y'all sitting with me for a minute. I appreciate that.
Of course. We
Uh,
got a shout out to FK Menace though. To that.
Oh man, that's my brother from another mother. Like I'm seeing him next week. I like to shoot him
Oh,
every
that's
time
right.
he
He's
comes
gonna
around.
be here, huh?
We working on the show. I mean, we haven't done it yet, but we're.
I already got the first half started of the show between me, FK Menace.
And then I'm gonna add some drums too.
Where-
We,
where y'all gonna
doing
do that
a
at?
live DJ
We
set
don't know.
with us on the percussion.
We haven't talked
you know
about
what
it yet. That's what I'm
saying?
saying. I started the process already doing a show with FK Menace
It's gonna be dope.
at the
It's
ship.
gonna be
Me
dope.
and him did a thing. It was.
Yeah,
it
he was
dope.
telling me. He was
Yeah,
telling
it
me. Like
dope
I was
as
telling
fuck.
you,
Right.
I want to see that. Like, so I'm trying to figure out how I can see this.
Well,
Yeah,
how
we
do-
gotta- we
well,
gotta
now
get it.
we gotta figure out how to bring it down
Yeah.
here.
Let's do it
Oh,
with
man,
night
it-
All you
shift.
need to do is just
It's-
have us two come down.
Yeah, let's do
Let's
it with
figure it
night
out. We
shift,
can
man.
definitely figure it out very easy.
Oh yeah, come on, bro.
Let's
Like-
do it.
I freestyle too. I'm nice on the bars, right?
Well, Juan Carlos, they want to get a hold of you. How do they get a hold of you?
So the band, I'll do it again. The band, if they want to get a hold of the band, Instagram, it's MKNGMVS. It's Making Movies. If you look up Making Movies
Making
on
Movies
everything, Making Movies Band, it don't matter. And then our website is www.makingmovies.world.
World
Young Almighty. If they want to get a hold of you, how do they
in
get a
the
hold of you?
building. Hit me on my line in outer space, and I'll hit you in the ether because I'm a Pisces and I'm connected. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
wait,
But-
give him the phone number too.
But in real life, you can hit me on my number at 816-583-0169. Once again, that is 816-583-0169. 0169. Hit me at Young Almighty in the building. Y'all Skate Club HQ in the building. Every skate club needs a headquarters. It's your boy from Olathe. I'm in the building. How you feeling? I'm feeling good. I'm from my hood. Yeah.
Woo! Smitty, they want to get a hold of you. How do they get a hold of you?
Man, just find me. I need to switch it up. I need to. Right now, I'm Sinclair A, SINCLAIR.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to type in, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
And Smitty sounds really cool. That ain't nothing to do with Smitty in your name.
So the
It's
story,
kinda confusing
the
a
story
bit.
behind that is Smitty,
Dun, dun,
Smittyville. It was always my production name. I make beats. So I do production engineer. Well, when I was starting to write, I always had issues writing to my own tracks.
Okay.
Because I would always get stuck listening to the production side and always go back to, let me
Right,
fix
right,
this, let
right.
me fix this.
Yeah.
So I came up with Sinclair A, which was Apollo Sinclair. That's what I was
Okay.
going by. So when I would think
That's a cool name, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Paul Sinclair got a nice ring
I
to
like
it, man.
the broadness of Apollo, and then Sinclair was very
Yeah.
a movement to it. So when I
Yeah.
would put Apollo Sinclair in my head, I would become the writer. So I would
Okay.
not think about production. So when I would keep that in my head, I would get out of my own production
Yeah.
mind. And don't worry about the drums. Don't worry about that. Just write.
Yeah.
Do this.
That's your rap. That's your artist
Kinda,
side,
yeah.
and then you had a production side.
so
yeah.
I wouldn't. So
And
I
then
could
you co-produce yourself.
compartmentalize my thought process so that they could talk to each other.
Right.
But yeah, you can find me there, and I'm working on some stuff. So
Yeah, we gonna
I'll
work
be
on
around.
some
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Young Almighty and
We're all gonna
Sinclair
do something. I don't know
_
what
A
it is.
Smittyville
let's
is
get
coming.
it.
Yeah.
Hey,
All I know is I'm kind of pumped to see my boys play tonight. I appreciate y'all sitting with me.
Come on, loser lose.
Like,
Man, it's been great. A good connection that I think is going to last for a long time.
talk about it.
y'all stay out of trouble. Let me know what's up. 11-11.